Hi everybody, welcome. Tammy from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. Today we're in the garden and we are going to be doing our 2024, or August 2024 garden tour. So if you guys are interested in seeing how everything is growing and what I have in the garden, stick around. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to welcome everybody to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. For those of you who've been coming every week, I appreciate the support that you're giving me, and thank you guys for understanding that I needed to step away for a little bit for everything that I am doing. So yeah, thank you, and I appreciate it. And let's get into our tour. Okay, so we're going to start with our cucumbers, and they have taken off. They are now starting to die back a little bit. We've got quite a few dead leaves in here. Still getting quite a few cucumbers. If you guys didn't catch the short that I put out last week, I ended up canning 9 pints of relish out of the cucumbers. So I've actually gotten enough cucumbers that I don't really need any. The other day I meant to do a short and I didn't get it done yesterday. Well, I didn't say. Today is August 12th, and yesterday when I was taking some time off from sewing to catch up on the garden stuff, I decided to make some refrigerator pickles. And I ended up doing 1.5 gallons of refrigerator sweet pickles. But other than that, the cucumbers are doing really, really well. Like I said, they are starting to die off, but still getting quite a few buds. I mean, there is a ton of buds and bees on these, so we'll see if they keep going. Yeah, but that's my cucumbers doing actually really well. Okay, my carrots, as you can't see them because they're covered in cucumbers, because the cucumbers have now taken over this whole end of the garden here. But I pulled out one of the carrots the other day, and we've got quite a few. It's starting to get a good bottom on them, so the carrots will do really well. I just, they're one of those. They're a very long growing vegetable, and they take almost the whole summer to grow. So I'm just going to leave them in their pot and let them do their thing. Probably won't be pulling them till sometime the end of October. Just keep watering them and letting them go. But yeah, we're doing good with the the carrots. The cucumbers are doing good. They're in all these pots here and just growing all over the place. I can barely step where I don't have cucumber. They're even up into my tomato plants. But speaking of tomatoes, this is one of the tomato plants doing really well. Got a pick. Got quite a few red ones in there. Have to pick those. Yeah, and over here, quite a few red ones again. Have to pick. But they're doing really well. I mean, I've got a ton of tomato plants, or tomatoes on my plants. Starting to die off a little bit of some of the leaves. I'll get in there and cut all the dead ones back. It'll help me find my tomato plants a little bit easier, or my tomatoes a little bit easier in there. But the wind's been really hard on the plants, and they tipped right over. Usually they're a lot taller than this, and I didn't get them staked up, and they tipped over, and I didn't dare pick them up once they've tipped over, and like that one is bent. I didn't want to bring it back up and have a chance of the plant dying because it was cracked on the other side. It's, kind of like seemed to heal itself. But yeah, their tomato plants seem to be doing really well. There's a lot of tomatoes on them. But I gotta pick again. As I said, there's a ton there. But there's a ton of green ones too. So we have quite a few red ones, some green ones. Get some picked here. I don't know if I have something in the garden. This is the third time I've been in the garden, and I have a tomato just sitting in the middle of the garden. I don't know if it just fell off the branch. Would the wind blow it? I don't know. But I don't know if I got something getting in here. and eaten, but have evidence of another one of those stupid tomato worms, horned worms, ate all of that branch off. So I'm going to have to go searching to see if I can't find him before he starts eating on all of my good ripe tomatoes. And remove him before he gets carried away. I never like those things. Okay, the pepper plants. Doing really good. We finally are getting some yellow ones in here, but it is loaded with peppers. Just letting them do their thing. They are going to town. This one is, the peppers are red. Let me get to the other side here. Yeah, the peppers in this one are red. I've never had them any other color other than that I grew in the garden other than yellow. So I was shocked when they turned brown and then turned red. I wasn't sure if maybe it was a hot pepper, but they're not. They're the sweet peppers that I normally get. These ones just happen to be red. So this year I have red ones and I have orange ones. And this one is the same, but look at the shape of those peppers. This is another yum yum, but they're round. They're not long like these yum yum ones grow. There it is. It's hard for me to see, the sun's in my eyes on the camera, but this one, they're round. So I don't know, they're not the normal bell pepper. This was a yum yum pepper. This is my normal giant bell pepper. Looks like a bell pepper. But these ones are doing good as well. I just picked one of these off the other day because I needed a pepper for dinner. It's nice to come out to the garden and be able to grab a pepper. This one has a bunch of, oh, it's got a pepper on it over there finally. This one had a whole bunch early and then it didn't have any more. Now it's got some more peppers. It's doing some growing. So hopefully I'll still get some peppers on these ones closer to fall. But yeah, all that stuff is doing good. Let's check out our herbs. Okay, my cilantro I cut down and it went right to seed again when it grew back up. So cilantro is not one of those that you can cut and have it do a second growing like your basil and parsley and all that. So it's good to know. I didn't know if I could or not, but it went right to seed, so I'll just have to pull that out. It won't, I don't think the seeds will last for the next year. But yeah, I can clean that out and be done with the cilantro. Beets aren't looking so good. I have neglected watering them for a while. I have some beets in there. Some of them are doing okay, but a lot of them just didn't do a whole bunch. But that's okay. I didn't really need them. I was just trying again in pots to see if they would grow. My carrots did really well last year, and I thought maybe the beets will do good this year. But I have neglected to water a couple of times here and there when it really needed to be watered. They need watered now, so after I get done filming, I'm going to have to water. Even though we had rain the last couple of days, the pots just dry out really, really fast, and I just have not watered. My basil, again, it's been cut 3 times, or twice, maybe just twice. It's been cut a couple of times, doing really good. I'll be able to get another cutting out of this. I think I'm going to, this time, when I get it, I'm going to make some pesto to freeze, just to have it in the freezer. Something to do, I really don't need basil dried right now. I do use it with my spaghetti sauce and stuff like that, but I'm not making spaghetti sauce this year, so I really don't need any more basil. And I thought maybe I'll make some pesto. I know people, there's recipes to make pesto, put it in a jar in the freezer, and then just bring it out when you want it for a meal. So I thought maybe I would do some pesto just to use up my basil. Parsley, some of it is coming back from seed there, but yeah, it's not really doing a whole lot. There's just one stalk down there, but I got the seeds down in there to hopefully they will germinate and drop in there, and then I can have a good amount of parsley next year from the seeds that grow. Okay, so let's look at the berries. Okay, blackberries are doing really well. I've been getting quite a few of them. As you can see, they're very big. Look at those, they're huge. It's not taken many to fill a quart bag and do them, but I have to pull them when they're a little bit underripe, because if I don't, the birds get in here and the stalks are big enough for the birds to land on and sit there and eat, and that's what they've been doing. So I have to get in here and get them when they're a little bit underripe to get them into the freezer. So the blackberries are doing really well. The raspberries are coming on a second spot. All the new branches that had berries on them are now producing. So I've got another round of raspberries coming, which is good. The patch is huge. And pan back here so you guys can see. That's not all of it. It's hanging over the fence on both sides, actually all the way around. It's down onto the ground here. It's going into my rhubarb plant. They're just everywhere. I've got to cut it down really good this year. Pretty short, and hopefully I don't lose anything. But some of these, I mean, the wind's been bad that it broke this branch here, and it was really long. And then I have another one that's going down into the garden. Look how long that one is, just hanging into the garden. And they're in the outside of the garden doing the same thing, and that's why these ones are starting to get berries on them, and it hangs low enough that the dog will come over and pick the berries off. She really does love blackberries. But yeah, I've got to cut these down in the fall, dig out my oregano that's in that corner so that I can possibly put that in a pot and allow the berries to take over all the way to the corner. But yeah, I need to trim these back. But you know, I don't want to do it when I've got a ton of berries. I mean, that's loaded with berries that is going to produce. I don't want to do it now. But yeah, we'll get it done. That'll be my fall project one of these days. We laugh at that. Okay, so and I talked kind of about the rhubarb. It's still producing. It's over here. It's under everything here. It's still producing. Still has some good stalks on it. I pull every now and then to get some out of it. But yeah, some of it is died out on the outside, but some of the inside is still growing. If it's if it doesn't feel hollow, I pull it out and I'll use it, freeze it. I just don't want it to go to waste. The blueberries are definitely done for the season, getting really dried out. I really probably am going to have to put them into the ground this year. They look like they just didn't get enough water and aren't doing all that well. They've never gotten brown like that this early in the season. So I don't know. I'm going to probably dig holes and get them in the ground over here where my herbs are to save them for the next year. I want to be able to hopefully get them. You know, I don't want to throw them out. I would like to be able to get them to get a little bit bigger and produce more blueberries. But okay, let's look at our cherry tomatoes. My cucumbers have even gone across the gate that I have, because I have my garden fenced in from the dog. But yeah, it grew across the gate. But here are my cherry tomatoes, not looking so good. They turned brown really fast and just kind of died out. They're kind of almost done for the season, which is okay. Like I said, a lot of times I just plant them to have them. We don't normally eat a ton of them, and I might not even get them next year. But yeah, some of them I just didn't even get, you know, they dropped right off. The wind was so bad not too long ago, it just blew them right off the thing onto the ground, into the pot. But yeah, I'll probably just clean them up and get rid of them, and they'll be done for the season. But yeah, that's pretty much the garden, guys. Well, guys, that is it for the garden. I had a comment last time I did a garden video that, well, it doesn't look like you have much in your garden. It doesn't look like it's producing much. What I did plant in my garden is really producing. I didn't do any green beans, which usually takes up the whole one side of the fence. I did cucumbers. I didn't do onions this year. There was a lot of stuff that I just didn't do. Yeah, and I mean, I have a couple of tomato, or a couple less pepper plants than I had last year. Same number of tomato plants. Cucumbers kind of took over a little bit here. But yeah, I mean, other than the green beans and a couple extra pepper plants that I didn't get, everything is doing really well, and I've got a lot. I actually have been taking my tomatoes and coring them and putting them in Ziploc bags and putting them in the freezer, because right now I don't have enough to make a full batch of ketchup, and I want to do a batch of ketchup. So once I have enough of that, I'll be able to do a batch of ketchup, but I don't want them to go bad before then. So I haven't really been showing much of what I've been doing with the tomatoes, but as you can see, everything is starting to grow, or to change and turn red. So there is a ton of tomatoes. I'm actually going to, now that I'm done with the video, I'm going to pick everything, and I'll take a picture of what I have, and that'll kind of like be my beginning picture for here of everything that I got out of the garden today, because I probably have 2 full 8-quart baskets of tomatoes, cucumbers, and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's it for today's video. Guys, if you have not subscribed, consider doing it. It does benefit me, and it is free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to my channel. So yeah, and if you hit the notification button down below, you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. Even if it is a shorts, you'll get notified. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. And as always, I will see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye.